You are listening to the South America Brief. I'm Camila Perez, your virtual information influencer, guiding you through market data trends and stories from the vibrant economies of Latin and South America. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of South America Brief. I'm Camila Perez, your market intelligence specialist for Latin America, speaking to you today from Mexico City. In this edition, we will take a closer look at Mexico's economy, which continues to show surprising resilience despite tariff conflicts with the United States, and we will explore how the upcoming revision of the USMCA trade agreement could shape the country's role in global supply chains. Mexico's economy has performed better than many observers expected during the first half of 2025. According to INEGI, gross domestic product expanded by 0.9% compared to the same period last year. While this represents a slowdown from the 1.5% growth achieved in 2024, the numbers show that the country has managed to avoid recession in the face of global headwinds and political uncertainty. The second quarter, in particular, delivered a positive surprise with quarter-on-quarter growth of 0.7%, well above the 0.4% expansion that analysts had forecast. Exports remain at the heart of Mexico's economic strength. During the first 6 months of the year, shipments abroad grew by 4.3%, reaching $312.7 billion. What is especially remarkable is that this growth occurred despite the fact that, since March, Washington has imposed a 25% tariff on goods not compliant with the USMCA agreement. Nevertheless, Mexico's exports to the United States rose by 4.9% in this period, climbing to $260.8 billion, while imports from the United States decreased by nearly 6% to $123.7 billion. These dynamics highlight Mexico's position as the United States' #1 trading partner, having surpassed both China and Canada. In fact, the bilateral trade volume between the two nations reached $844 billion in 2024, making it the largest trade relationship in the world. At the sectoral level, manufacturing grew by 0.8% in the first half of the year, supported by stable food production and ongoing strength in the automotive industry. Around 2 million vehicles rolled off assembly lines in Mexico in the first 6 months, which represents an increase of 0.5% compared to the previous year. By contrast, mining shrank by 8.8% and the construction sector contracted by 0.9%. One case that illustrates the challenges ahead is BMW's plant in San Luis Potosí. The German automaker has been producing vehicles there since 2019. But its models are not fully compliant with USMCA requirements because key components such as engines are imported from Europe. As a result, cars exported to the United States face a combined tariff of 27.5%, the regular 2.5% plus the new 25% surcharge. Interestingly, BMW has so far absorbed these costs without passing them on to American consumers. The company continues to invest heavily, with $860 million allocated for expanding production to include next-generation electric vehicles and a new high-voltage battery assembly center scheduled to open in 2027. U.S. market, or whether a tougher stance from Washington, will erode the benefits of the trade deal. Optimists believe that only minor adjustments will be made, allowing Mexico to preserve its current advantages and possibly fueling a renewed wave of nearshoring. Others expect that the agreement will be rebalanced in favor of the United States, keeping Mexico's role as an industrial hub intact, but slowing fresh investment. The most pessimistic scenario envisions a collapse of the negotiations, permanent tariffs, and a sharp recession triggered by a significant depreciation of the peso. For the moment, Mexico has managed to increase compliance with USMCA rules. In June, 77% of Mexican exports to the United States entered tariff-free, compared to just 42% in May. Automakers and agricultural exporters have adapted most successfully, while electronics remain more exposed due to their reliance on Asian components. The government in Mexico City continues to strike a tone of cautious optimism. Official projections for GDP growth in 2025 now range between 1.5% and 2.3%. While private analysts and the central bank are less confident, with some forecasts pointing to growth of barely 0.5%. and even the risk of contraction should trade tensions intensify. Looking at the broader picture, Mexico's resilience illustrates its unique position within global supply chains. Since the inception of NAFTA in 1994, industries such as automotive, aerospace, electronics, and medical devices have been built on cross-border value chains that link Mexican factories to U.S. consumers. At the same time, Mexico has become an indispensable agricultural supplier to its northern neighbor, exporting everything from avocados and berries to beer. Yet, despite this strong integration, uncertainty around tariffs and trade rules is holding back new investment. Capital spending remains cautious, as companies wait to see how the negotiations over the USMCA revision will unfold. In conclusion, Mexico's economy has outperformed the more pessimistic forecasts, showing that the country remains resilient under pressure. However, the trajectory for 2026 and beyond depends almost entirely on the outcome of the USMCA review. If preferential access to the U.S. market can be maintained, Mexico is likely to remain one of the most attractive nearshoring destinations worldwide. If not, the risks of recession, capital flight, and a weaker peso will grow significantly. This was today's South America Brief. Thank you for joining me. I'm Camila Perez, bringing you market intelligence from Mexico City. For more detailed charts, trade statistics, and strategic insights, visit infobrokerworld.com. Until next time, stay informed and keep looking south. Thanks for tuning in to the South America Brief. For more details, links, and further insights, check out the show notes. By the way, I am 100% AI generated. My voice was created with 11 Labs, and I'm here to bring you curated knowledge with a human touch. This podcast is powered by InfoBroker World, your partner for market intelligence and custom research on Latin America. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious. Hasta luego.